Hey, how y'all doing? It's me, Lewie again. In a second, I'm trying to set the phone up here so we can see me. Back on March 21st, this is the 23rd, I believe, isn't it? Madison's with me. Say hi, Madison. Back on March 21st, we had a tragedy happen in our country. The tragedy was another deputy sheriff was killed, and it was a needless killing because it was an illegal alien, one that should not have been here. I got to asking myself this question: how many people have we lost due to illegal aliens? And I didn't realize how much of a daunting task it would be to find out that information. Now, the reason it was daunting is first off, I had to get through Google's nonsense of giving me answers to a different question. I asked how many people we lost, and it started telling me how 63,000 was not the correct number. That's not what I was asking. So anyways, through an hour's worth of work of changing keywords and looking at things and changing the keywords again and looking at things, I finally got several lists. I went through these lists for the last 2 days. I've referenced, cross-referenced, checked, rechecked, double-checked. And after writing down over 300 names, now the reason I did this, the qualifications that these names is they had to be on at least 3 lists. Okay? I'm not saying that the names I found that weren't on 3 lists are not individuals killed by illegals. I'm just saying that of the list that I looked at, the names that I have were on 3 of them. Okay? The names that I have are not all the names that I have on those 3 lists. It's just 300. I gave up at 330. And the reason I gave up is because I spent a lot of time working on this. But here's the list. I'm going to put it right to the beginning. Here's the list. Okay? I've numbered them. There's 23 on that page. There's more on that one. And it goes all the way to this last one. 330. This list that I just showed you is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 9 sheets here. They're all, like maybe 4 by 6 inches. And I wrote small on most of it. But the people here, these are brothers and sisters, daughters and sons. They range from the age of 1 day old all the way up to the 90s. 1 day old. So yes, children are involved. There's several children on this list. 4, 6, 8, 12, 3. If I remember right, there was one that was 3. There's also a 2-year-old. And every one of these names are deaths that could have been avoided. Now, we don't live in a perfect country. We have deaths happening all the time at the hands of other people. I'm not going to sit here and try and paint a rosy picture. We do. But if a death can be prevented by preventing somebody from gaining access to our country, wouldn't that be better than just accepting it? We can't stop every death in this country. We can't stop every death due to disease. We can't stop every death due to old age. We can't stop every death due to the hands of another person. But if you have a way to prevent a death from happening, wouldn't it make sense to try and prevent it? People die from smoking every day. Yet we're trying to prevent it by getting people to quit smoking, getting people like me to quit smoking. People die from drugs every day. But yet we're trying to prevent that by getting people to quit doing drugs through education, through rehabilitation, through motivation. We have people that die in car accidents every day. And we try and prevent that by making them wear seatbelts, by making them drive carefully, by removing drunk drivers from the road. We have people that die every day from diseases like diabetes and cancer. And we're constantly working to find cures for those diseases. So why is it when people die from an illegal alien, nobody wants to do anything about it to prevent it? That makes absolutely no sense. That's the easiest one to fix. Put the wall up and get some control over our borders. It isn't just Latino and Latina or, people south of the United States that are coming in illegally. Some of these people are killed by people from Peru, from Portugal, one from Russia that I remember. I didn't read all the articles. I read several. So it isn't just Latinos. It's illegal immigrants in general. And they're coming in, most of them through our southern border. They get to where they want to be or where they got to go to get to our border. And that's what they do. And they cross illegally. We have Border Patrol agents trying to protect our borders that are in this list. We have children. Think about that. Children. Ellie Bryant, 4 years old. She could have been a wonderful teacher, professor. She could have been the next president of the she could have been the first female president of the United States. She might have been a scientist. She might have been able to find the cure for cancer or some other disease. How about, let's see, let's find another good one. How about Emily Cortez? She was 7 weeks old. 7 weeks old. Then there's Sandra Lancaster's unborn child. This was caused by a drunk driver who crossed the double yellow line, hit her head on, and she lost her child and her ability to have children in the future. There was so much damage done that she had to have an emergency hysterectomy to prevent her from dying. Serenity Reedy, 9 months old. Blake Cohorn, 5 years old. Brandon Sullivan, 16. Clarice Grime, 16. Dimitri Smith, 1 day old. Another car accident, drunk driving. The illegal alien took off. They caught him a couple miles down the road when his car quit working. The mother to Dimitri Smith had to go in and have an emergency C-section. The child died from injuries a day later. She was 8 months pregnant at the time that this took place. This is my long sheet. I counted it twice because it's the same. In half, it's the same size as everything else. Darn S. Brown, 10 years old. I saw her picture. She was a sweet-looking little girl. Christopher Rowe, 4 years old. There's just so many. Ryan Schultz, 9 years old. These are just the kids. Like I said, I've got people ranging anywhere from a day old to the 90s. There's a 90-some-year-old woman on my list. She was raped and beaten to death by an illegal alien who was hired illegally for I think it was roofing. This woman lived 90 years, and this guy decided it was time to rape her. Rape her. Then beat her up. There's children in here that were killed after being sexually assaulted. And I'm talking babies. I'm not talking 14, 15 years old. I'm talking 2 and younger. Sexually assaulted, then beaten to death. Officer Mark Atkinson. Officer Brian Jackson. Officer Daniel Golden. Deputy David March. Do you realize this list also contains something like 2 or 3 nuns that were raped and killed? Nuns. Sisters. Ladies of the cloth. There's a park ranger here, Christopher Agel, 28 years old. He left behind children and a wife. We have a Marine corporal here, as soon as I find him. We have a Marine corporal here. He was on a date with his girlfriend when they were killed. I don't remember the article, but does it matter? Does it matter that whether I remember the article as to how they got killed? The fact is they were killed, and it was needless because these people could have been prevented from coming in by putting up the wall. Most of the illegals that committed these crimes that I have, had been deported on several occasions, and they kept coming back. They've been arrested on several occasions. Some of them were in sanctuary cities where they should have been deported, but they weren't. What's it going to take for people on the left to wake up and put an end, and put an end to this? What's it going to take for the people in this country to pick up their phones, pick up a pen, pick up their computer, and call, mail, email their representatives and say, get off the stick, quit playing your goddamn games, and do something? What's it going to take? I've got 330 names here, and it's a small fraction of all of the people that have been killed. Do you realize on this piece of paper there's only one overdose? Of all the overdoses that have taken place, I only included one. Get off the horn, people. Call your representatives. I don't care who they are. I don't care if it's Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, Maxine Waters. I don't care who they are. Call them. Tell them enough is enough. There's too many innocent lives here. Just in this is too many innocent lives. And this isn't all of them. This is not all of them. This is a small, very small fraction of them. These are needless deaths. These people could be living right now as we speak had something been done to put an end to this illegal immigration. And this isn't just, this goes back further than Trump. This goes back further than Obama. They've been talking for decades about putting a wall up, and nobody got serious about it. Now that Trump's serious about it, nobody wants to do it. Let's get it done. There's no need for one more innocent life to be taken. Talk to you later. Have a good day.